Hey everyone, it's Kai from Kool Collectibles, back again for another review. This time it's the Sideshow Collectibles 1/6 scale R5-D4. Alright, so normally I get these figures from Sideshow Collectibles directly, like I did with the 3PO recently, but this time I got it using my pennies and a few other discounts from the local distributor here in Australia called Pop Culture Superstore, and it arrived today in pretty good nick. And the box here, I'll just quickly go through that. It's one of the smallest boxes I've ever received from Sideshow. I can't remember the R2 being this small, but you get the idea of the artwork there. And again, it's just the magnetic sort of packaging that you get in this sort of line. It doesn't come with too many accessories apart from 2 restraining bolts that are magnetized, and 2 of his little antenna things that you pretty much friction put onto the little hole there, I believe. I haven't tried that yet, but they give you 2 just as a spare, similarly with the restraining bolts. And the restraining bolts pretty much just sort of stick anywhere on the body, just like it did with R2-D2. So I'll just move those accessories out of the way. The figure itself, overall, it's not too bad. Why I got this figure, honestly, I struggle to think of why I bothered getting this. It's not like it's an essential character in the Star Wars universe, but I guess it's in the movie, it's in the original A New Hope movie, so I guess I just couldn't resist clicking that buy button, which is pretty stupid when you think about it, but what can you do in this damn hobby? Overall, the detailing is pretty similar to the original R2 figure. I think the only difference in the molding really is this top part for his head here. So it does spin all the way around. Nothing too fancy there. I do have this little chip on the side there. I don't even know if that's intentional, to be honest, with Sideshow anymore, if it's just the way you have to sort of accept these things. I've got a few other sort of scratches and so on down the side, for example back here, and so on in the white plastic. I'm not going to get too fussed about it this time around, but I am a little annoyed with my Sideshow still, where with my 3PO, sorry, where Sideshow didn't bother giving me a replacement. They've only offered me a $25 credit. I'm not going to bother going back to Pop Culture with asking for a replacement or anything on this one. Overall, it's not too bad. The weathering I would probably say is probably better than on R2, to be honest. I've got R2 right next to me here, so I'll bring them both in. So you'll see, I think the panel lining and so on R5-D4 here, I think is better. I do like that, you know, the sort of lines and so on stand out a bit more than they do on R2. But the weathering itself, it wasn't that impressive on R2 to begin with, and on R5-D4 here, particularly on the head here, you can really sort of, it's probably not coming out on the viewfinder here, but you can really tell that they've pretty much just got someone to paintbrush it on. It doesn't look like, it doesn't look very very well done, to be honest. And I'll just compare it against the prototype photo. I've got my phone here, and this is, if you can sort of zoom in. Now this is the photo of the prototype. Now that weathering looks awesome, but then you compare it against that, and I guess, you know, it is a mass-produced product, etc, etc, but God, I mean, particularly with this particular price range, in Australia with the exchange rate, this is going for over $200. So I don't think if you can only get this at retail price, I probably wouldn't recommend getting this for $220. It's probably going to be a shelf warmer for a while. I don't know what the edition run is for these figures, but I think it's going to be around for a while, and you'll definitely be able to pick it up at a sale price, I think. So definitely, if you're thinking of getting it, try and use a discount or pennies, or wait for one of the big end of financial year or Christmas sales, to be honest, because I don't see how this is going to sell out anytime soon. The rest of the molding on the bottom half, or bottom 2/3 of the figure, is pretty much identical to R2, as you'll see. I assume all of these panels and so on can probably be taken off just like they were for R2, but I'm not going to bother doing any of that. I guess the only other interesting thing for me that I noticed, being anal, the little foot here has got this little weird plastic protrusion for some reason, whereas the original R2 did not. But other than that, the molding is pretty much the same. I do notice that the front wheel here doesn't extend as far as R2's here, so I'm not sure if that's by design. It looks like it's by design because I don't think I can pull that any further down. You see a little recess there. So maybe they adjusted that design there just to make it a bit more accurate. I did hear that R2's little foot here at the front wasn't meant to be so high, pulled down so far. So actually I might have displayed him incorrectly in my own display, but on this original version you pretty much just pull it out just to lock it in place like that. So I've left it like that. I just realized something about this mark here, just looking at the R2 version that I've got next to me here, and it looks like mine on R5-D4 here has been installed in reverse. So this looks like a sprue mark that was on the R2 figure. If you can sort of just make it out there. And I have seen it on some of the photos of the figure of R5-D4 where the sprue mark is on the reverse. So you can see the sprue mark there on R2, and it looks like mine has just been installed on backwards. So I might talk to Pop Culture and see what they can do about that. I guess I also noted that I was talking about a recess in here before, and that you can't pull that out all the way. So it's just pretty much like the R2 figure. So no difference there at all, apart from of course mine being installed backwards. I guess some might think it's a bit nitpicky, but I don't know, I'm getting a little bit tired of these QC issues with Sideshow, so I might go in and ask if I can get that either swapped out or replaced. It doesn't look like it's easily disassembled to pull this centerpiece out, so I'll see what Pop Culture can do there. Other than that, what else could I show? All the same sort of panels are magnetic again, just like they were on the R2 figure. So you can open up all these doors and so on. I think you just try and use the little magnets. I'm not going to try and open the doors because they are pretty fragile, and you can sort of see some weathering inside and so on. But nothing too fancy to write home about. I think this one will open as well, so you can sort of see some of the weathering and rusting in there, which does look pretty good. Not bad overall in there. I'm not sure about these ones. These ones don't seem to want to pop out like they did on R2. But that is pretty much it, I think. Everything else is you've seen before on R2. The weathering, a bit hit and miss on the body itself, but overall not too bad on display. So oh yeah, I did forget to show you guys the bad motivator. So you pretty much just pull on the center optic thing here, and this back panel at the top here will just pop open. So if I just try and do that on camera, you just gently pull that, and that thing pops out. So I guess a nice gimmick to have. And essentially all you do is just push this back down until it locks, like so, and then just pull that flap back down, and that is pretty much it. So I guess a bit of fun factor for about 5 minutes, and that'll be it. But on display I think it'll look pretty good with Obi-Wan and Luke from Hot Toys, and I guess with the 3PO and R2 from Sideshow. So that's pretty much it. Hopefully you liked that quick look at R5-D4. Hopefully you can click that subscribe button, because I do have I'll just pan down here quickly. I do have the Hot Toys Kylo Ren up for review next. I also got from Robot Kingdom, the awesome guys at Robot Kingdom, MP27 Ironhide and FT13 Mercenary. So I've got all of these 3 reviews coming up over the next few days, so hopefully you can click that subscribe button and stay tuned for those. Thanks again, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers. Bye.